guys, welcome back to my channel. How are you guys? This time I did pretty good, right? It was only a few weeks since my last video. All right, so this time what I wanted to talk about today was age differential during dating. Like, what do y'all feel like is okay and what do you feel like is not okay? I asked my mom this question and she was like, as long as they over 18, anything over 18, like she goes by the legal aspect of things. So I had to tell her a situation, right? I feel like it just depends. Because I talked to my best friend about the situation as well, as far as like, what do you think is too young to date over 18? Like, because sometimes you just meet somebody and you just fall in love with them. And she was saying that your brain isn't as mature around 13, 14, 15 years old. Like, your brain isn't mature enough to make decisions like that. That's why they have to make laws stating that you have to be a certain age to have sex with, or I guess date somebody older. So I'm gonna tell you a situation, right? I've always been like the young one in my class because my birthday is in July. So I was 14 in ninth grade when like almost everybody else is like 15 at the end of the year. They about to turn 16, but I was 14 throughout the entire year. I didn't turn 15 until like the summer before going back to school. So when I'm 14 and I'm in ninth grade, I'm in high school, I start communicating with a senior. And I think at the time he was 17 going on 18, right? We go to the same school. Like, I'm a freshman, he's a senior. And I know some seniors are like, nah, I don't deal with freshmen on like some popularity or egotistic type stuff, but I wasn't ugly as a ninth grader, I'm just saying. So I was attracted to this senior. Obviously he was attracted to me, but I was too young for him. He kept saying that, nah, it's your age, it's your age, it's your age. But the maturity level I had at 14 was more mature than like the seniors, like his peers that he was talking to. And we just vibed, we just connected. So it took us to me being 16, which means I was a junior in high school. I was 16. He was like 19 going on 20. He might have been 20. I don't know. But we had sex when I was 16. That was our first time. And I didn't see anything wrong with it. Mind you, I still communicate with this guy off and on to this day. So it wasn't, to me, it wasn't a stupid decision. I had talked to him for 2 years prior before we became sexual with each other. And I don't think that, I honestly didn't see anything wrong with it. Like I said, I was 16. He was, if not 20, about to be 20. And I remember my parents found out. They didn't know who it was. They didn't know how old he was. All they knew is they found out that I was having sex. Mind you, he wasn't my first. I lost my virginity for the first time right around 15, like right around the time I turned 15, right? I didn't have sex again till the second time until I was 16 with him. So the first time, I have to tell y'all about that experience. Just understand that experience made me wait a whole nother year before I had sex again. So it was kind of like my first time for real. Because the first time wasn't a real first time. But with him, it was like legit. And he just happened to be older. So when my parents found out about it, they're asking me all these questions. Me knowing that this man is about to be 20 and knowing that my mama crazy. I ain't telling you nothing. No. So she would ask me questions like, what's his name? I don't even know if I told her his real name. I think I did give her his first name, and she was like, what's his last name? I was like, I don't know. And she was like, you had sex with somebody and you don't know their last name? In my mind, I was like, I know his last name. I ain't telling you his last name. Like, my mom is crazy. She would go through the phone book. Yes, at that time, it was house phones. She would go through the phone book and, like, look up last names and addresses and all this other kind of stuff. And I ain't got time for that. Because then you're going to find out how old he is. And you're going to make it a big deal. And it's really not a big deal. Like, I made that decision. I came on to this man. I was thirsty. Like, I needed to get quenched. My thirst needed to be quenched. So I did what needed to be done. And like I said, it was more than just sex. Like, I had a connection with this man. We was basically in a relationship, kind of, without the title. I talked to him all the time. It was just my age. So when I told him, I was like, listen, don't answer this phone, don't answer that phone number, don't answer this phone number, don't answer that phone number. I gave him like 10 different numbers. It was like, do not answer these phone numbers. Like, cut your house phone off. Don't answer any of these phone numbers because they know that we've had sex. And he was so scared because of his age. He was like, how did they even find out? Like, why did you not delete our text messages? Because my dad went through my phone. For a whole other reason. It wasn't even trying to figure anything out. He just went through my phone and saw those messages. Oh, finding out your daughter's not a virgin that way, and the things that were said, my gosh. Whew. Needless to say, I got my phone taken away for like 2 weeks, and my dad didn't talk to me for like a good, he couldn't even really look at me for real. Yeah. But I don't see a problem with it. And I still don't see a problem with it because it's not like, I mean, we were going to the same school. So I see this guy every day. Like, we're around each other every day. So I don't think there's anything wrong with a 14-year-old dating an 18-year-old. If you are mentally mature for that. You see what I'm saying? So like, if you're the type of person who's very gullible or naive or easily swayed, like, then no, you don't need to be dating somebody older. You don't. Because you really can't make decisions for yourself. You don't know how to say no. And I say that, but I really didn't know how to say no at that time. But dealing with him, I didn't have to not know how to say no. You know what I'm saying? Like, he would ask me questions. He wouldn't force himself on me. He would make sure that I was okay to do whatever. And it was all my ideas. Like, he didn't come to me. He didn't push his sex on me. It was all me, baby. It was all me. It was all me. And he did. Like, he waited until I was ready, you know? And like I said, he didn't just one time and whatever, he didn't just use me for that or whatever. Like, this man literally was trying to get me to fly out to see him, like, last month? So it's like, we still have a very good friendship. We still communicate, not often, but like every blue moon. So like, he's still very much so a person in my far circle, you know? I just don't see anything wrong with it for me, but I'm a different breed. So what I let my daughter, I feel like my daughter is super smart. I would have to talk to the guy, and I would have to talk to her and see where her mind is before I allowed her to date him, you know? It's all about communication. Communication is key. Yeah. But I don't see anything wrong with it. And girls these days, that's the thing. Girls these days are not how I was. Y'all losing y'all virginity in like middle school, damn near elementary school. I was the whole 15, 16 out here in these streets. So you have these females who lie about their age, this fake IDs out here in the world. Like, if they're really 16, they're like, oh no, I'm 22, and can look it, baby. They look 22. What you mean? I don't need to see ID. I believe you. It is what it is. But then you get in trouble because they're not that age. So I don't know, y'all. I don't see anything wrong with it. Y'all let me know. Were you guys mature at 14, 15, 16? Do you think that it's okay to date somebody older than 18 around that age? Like, do you think 5-year difference is too much? Do you think, I don't know. I feel like it depends on the person. It just depends on the people. It depends on that couple and their maturity level. But I do understand it. 18 is legal. So if you do something, you know what I'm saying? Like, you might go to jail. You might have to do some time for that. I don't know. Y'all let me know. What's your thoughts about it? I'm all ears. All right, guys, that was my little spill for this. Like I said, just comment and let me know how you guys feel. Have y'all ever been in a situation to where you liked someone older, talked to someone older, felt like you were ready, but you couldn't because of the age? Y'all let me know. Until next time, guys. Love you.
I'm sick of this, I'm packing. I'm sick of this, I'm packing. Cause you just end up back with